Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the episode of Reaction. So, for this is Reaction. This is my Raw review. All right, for April 2017. The day is the 17th as well. So, today is the 18th. You know, I do it the day after. So, here we go. Open up the show with Braun Strowman and Kurt Angle. Braun is happy that he got rid of Roman Reigns. Who's not happy about that? I don't understand. The crowd gives out a big reaction. Braun goes on to say, Roman is gone. I'm the guy who got rid of Roman, so on and so forth. Kurt Angle music hits. He comes down to the ring and says, look, man, you should be suspended. Not going to suspend you, but, Roman Reigns won't be here tonight, so... Braun's classic, Braun Strowman, I need competition. It doesn't matter. So, when Kurt said you should be suspended, Braun's broke character for a second, and he had this high-pitched what. If anybody else caught it, I caught it last night, but I rewound the tape this morning, I'm like, yo, that, like, his voice went extremely, what? Extremely light. And for a big guy, I'm glad he recovered as quick as he did. This is what they call mic work in the biz. You got to be able to stay in character and stay on point. So they leave that. They go into their first match, Samoa Joe versus Y2J. You got Seth Rollins out there on commentary. Good match. Good match. A nice back and forth between the two. It was one spot where Jericho, Samoa Joe had the submission hold on Jericho. Jericho elevated himself just a little bit to put Samoa Joe elbows on the back of the mat, and the ref started to count, which forced Jericho to lock in the Coquina Clutch, which again is Taz and Samoa Joe's favorite submission move. Mind you, don't forget that he was trained by Taz when he was in NXT. Not NXT, TNA. So the way he locks it in is reminiscent of Taz. It reminds me of Taz because the way he puts it on you, it ain't no coming out of that at all. So after the match was done, I might even give it the match of the night. Considering the card, yeah, that was the match of the night. Samoa Joe after cuts a promo saying that, you were just a hand-picked target by my benefactor, Triple H, and now I've come to finish the job. You think you slayed kings? Let's see if you can slay the Destroyer. And Seth Rollins responds, payback's a bitch, and that's it. Me personally, Seth, you got to do a little bit more work on that promo work. I think that's what's really holding him back. His monikers and how he carries himself is good, but it's your status in the ring. How do you present your cockiness? Look at AJ Styles. And I know Seth Rollins is a good guy now, but look at AJ Styles. AJ Styles is one of the most cockiest heels. He's at the point where you don't know if he's really a heel or if he's really a good guy. You don't know. You just don't know. They also announced that Kevin Owens will be defending the title against Chris Jericho. And the winner of that match will move to SmackDown. So whoever wins that match is moving to SmackDown with the U.S. title, which is good. It just tells me that they're filling up the card because they did not think this Brock Lesnar situation through. Again, why make the title if you did not plan to have it on your show for a whole fucking year? Doesn't make any sense. But again, they did this once before. They did this in 2015, I believe, when Brock Lesnar was the champion for like 6 months. And you didn't see him outside of the 6 months. You probably saw him like 3 times. So they're going for that again. Come up out of that, Braun's backstage with Braun Strowman and Golden Truth. The Golden Truth was in a match supposed to be announced later tonight against the Club. Braun Strowman fucked him up, and he said everybody's on the list. It doesn't really matter. And he's just reminding everybody. The ref gets him in the back, tells him, sits him down. Look, man, Kurt Angle said that you're not wrestling tonight. He said, look, man, I don't even want to wrestle. I want to fight. I want to fight. He's sitting there, and is that going to be a problem? Looks at the ref. The ref gets the fuck out of there. That's how you cut a promo for a monster. If you want to build a monster, build it like you're building Braun Strowman. I mean, at this point, the way they're building Braun, there's nobody that can stop him but Roman Reigns, which is fucked up because you got so much other talent on your Raw roster. I would like to see Braun versus fucking Samoa Joe. I would love to see that shit. I think that would do big numbers, especially with the push that you're giving Braun right now. Make that happen. The Club versus Enzo and Cass. Of course, good match. Cass and Enzo cuts a promo before the match, so does the Club. I like the Club promo better. They're here to make money and something else. It reminds me of AJ Styles is the face that runs the place. It's make money and something else. I forget what the fuck he said. Funny as hell. We move off of that into an in-ring segment with the Miz, Maurice, and Dean Ambrose on Miz TV. And the Miz cuts a fucking promo on Dean Ambrose, explaining why Dean never gets over the hump because he's lazy, he doesn't care, he doesn't put no real effort into the work that he's doing. And Dean, in classic Dean form, is not giving two fucks about whatever the hell the Miz got going on. Like, whatever you say, bruh, it doesn't matter. I beat you for the Intercontinental title. That breaks out into a fight. Then they're going up against each other at what is this pay-per-view? Payback. So they're supposed to be going at each other for the Payback pay-per-view. That should actually be nice. I want to see how that pans out. Backstage with Braun Strowman, Kalisto, and the Big Show. Braun is still on his fucking warpath. He takes out Kalisto. Literally beats the shit out of him, drags him to a dumpster, and throws him in a trash can. By this point, Big Show has had enough, attacked Braun Strowman from the side, and says the Browns pick on somebody your own size. They cut to a commercial break. They come back with TJ Perkins versus Jack, the Gentleman Jack Gallagher's, which I'm not a big fan of Jack Gallagher's. I'm not. His gimmick, his Mary Poppins gimmick with the jumping off the fucking joint with the umbrella, that's too much for me. I'm cool. Neville and freaking Austin Aries is ringside. Neville had a special announcement that, he'll be ringside. So Austin Aries was like, look, man, I didn't know. I bought some snacks. He pulled out a banana off a fucking Neville a banana from the catering crew, Titus, JD. Freaking yeah, that's how that broke out. That's come to find out, Neville winds up helping TJP win the match. I'm thinking they're turning TJP heel, and I wouldn't do that just yet because he's a face, and you need a face against all this competition. I would say Austin Aries, but Austin Aries is more of the cocky face. He's not, when I look at TJP, he's still got life in his eyes. He's still got that young look on him. And you can use that. You can use that for years. At least 2-3 more years before you think of turning him in. That's all I'm saying. So you got a backstage segment with the Hardys versus Cesaro, with Cesaro and Sheamus. And the Hardys are just excited to be back in the WWE, man. I would have loved to see some broken gimmick stuff from Jeff, from Matt, but it seems like they let Jeff do most of the talking for this promo, which is good until they figure out this broken gimmick stuff. And you've already heard my opinion on how to bring out the broken gimmick using Bray Wyatt. If you haven't heard it, check out my show, cleverly named the Roster Shake-Up Breakdown. Just look at that show, and then I go into great detail on how we would bring the broken universe to the WWE. So, they talk about their match for Payback, Sheamus and Cesaro, they're excited to fight the Hardys. And that was just a backstage segment. They said they'll see him in the ring. Moving on into the next match, Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James versus Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. Number one contender match, and I think this was one of the best four-way matches for women of all year. If you look at this match, just take your time and look at it. Everything was done flawlessly. I think it was a couple of botches in there by Alexa Bliss, but again, it's Alexa Bliss, so she made it look good. I think this was one of their, again, better matches as far as the women's division is concerned. And just look at it. That's just two women outside of the normal three women that they book. And it just looks so fucking better. It just looks so much better. Just with that extra bit of talent in there. Mickie James adds her own element to it, as does Alexa Bliss. And you already know Sasha Banks can go in the ring. And fucking Nia Jax is a beast. She's a beast. I don't know why she didn't win this number one contender match. It's time to give her a push. If you took, and I understand why they did it. They took Charlotte off just so they can get that the Sasha versus Bayley at either SummerSlam or WrestleMania. That's the only way that makes sense, because then you still got a crew of women that could step right into that place until then. And I think Nia Jax is one of them women, as well as Mickie James. They leave this segment and cut a promo with the Big Show. Backstage promo. Big Show's in the best shape of his life. He's 7 foot tall, and he's ready to go up against Braun Strowman. Pretty much that's what the promo was. Kurt Hawkins comes out, said the Big Show punched him in the face last week. And so who's next to be made a star by Kurt Hawkins? Out comes Finn Balor. Everybody's been talking about, his injury. I didn't report on it because the WWE did not report on it. And that's my whole kick. If you don't hear it via their website, then they're not going to report on it. Then that means they're going to keep running with Finn Balor, even if he's fucked up. Because I looked at the whole match, and from what I could tell, he was still off a step. He was still missing that jump to the top of the turnbuckle and hit the coup de grace. And that's what he's known for. And if he's missing a step, give him that time. Give him that time off to go ahead and rest. He's supposed to be rumored to go against Bray Wyatt after Payback. So my suggestion, sit him down for the next 3 weeks. Have him do some promo work. Have him do some, a couple appearances. Maybe in a tag team match where he's not taking too many bumps. But you got to sit him down. You don't need... Finn Balor's that cat that you don't need to have on Raw. Every fucking Raw. No. Just like Shinsuke doesn't need to be on every SmackDown. No. You slowly build these guys, and then you move from there. Freaking, that goes into a backstage segment with Y2J and this guy that he keeps calling Tom Phillips, which is... I don't even know this guy's name. He's just the second time to me now. Because, again, Jericho's good at promo work. I don't know why. If Jericho wins and goes to SmackDown, that's probably better for SmackDown. He said he's taking all his friends with him to SmackDown. Put him in a frame, man, says Jericho. Because he is the face of the United States. He should be anyway. So, good promo. The Drifter, who was there all night. So it wouldn't surprise me if you see the Drifter, Elias Sampson, if you see him wrestling at some point on Raw. It wouldn't surprise me. Because he's no longer wanted in NXT. And that's been made very clear. Video package from Bray Wyatt showing him that, you guys are all controlled by fear, and I am the new face of fear. And I'm here to take out some important players and all this other good stuff. And that was pretty much the end of the promo. Again, I like what they're doing with Bray Wyatt. I would have kept him on SmackDown, but I don't know. I guess they moved him to Raw. I'm surprised they haven't. Him and Braun Strowman have not crossed paths yet. They should, but that'll probably be after Payback. That goes into a match with Jeff and Cesaro. And you got Matt in Jeff's corner, and you got Sheamus in Cesaro's corner. This was a pretty good match. Jeff picks up the win, of course, and I can't wait to see the hard.